Hello darlings, it is I, your darling Vuyo, and I am back. I come back. Well darling, I come back. And I come back. I am back. I am back, sweetie, darling. Yes, I am back. I come back. I come back like I never left, darling. I come back like it hasn't been a minute. I am back. Yeah, I'm back. I'm still getting used to the hang of that. But anyway. And welcome to my channel. I have opened this channel to show you guys life and career in the one and only New York City. It is I, your darling Vuyo. I hope that you guys are going to enjoy it. I'll be showing you experiences, places, things, you know, just life in New York as well as career in New York, in this fabulous city, darlings. Hello everyone, it is myself, your darling Vuyo, and I am so excited to be back with you, darlings. I have missed you all. I have missed you all so much. I've been away on social media and societal sabbatical and just taking time away to recoup, rejuvenate, revitalize, rethink, rediscover, reevaluate, you know, a lot of things and a lot of decisions that I've kind of been wanting to take for my life. And it's been really a transitionary period of my life. I remember I've been getting some messages and people kind of reaching out, and thank you to you all that have reached out and sent me messages and were inquiring about my well-being and my safety and if I was okay. And I couldn't get back to everyone. I couldn't communicate with everyone because I've, just being cognizant of just being like away from everything, right? From family, from friends, from just society, and from social media. So that's been what's kind of been going on. I've been well. I've been okay. I've been good. I've been, as I said, in a transitionary period of my life, like never before. I've had moments within my past 24 years of life, but I've had moments where I felt like change had needed to be done, different decisions and choices had to be made, definitive decisions for the future had to be taken. And I, even before, had to experience a level of isolation and a level of just being away in order for that to happen in a informed way that is satisfying and to one internally. So stepping into a position of being comfortable with what decision, and decisions that I've been taking based on the fact that there's no other external influence to those decisions, but purely self with self. And that could sound as deep as, quite deep, but for me it was really just simply that, just like I'm transitioning in so many aspects of my life, right? In career, in relationships, in family, in life, right? And I needed to be very cognizant of, like, in that transition, where am I? Like, what do I want? How do I want that? Why do I want that? Right? So there's been some really exciting milestones that have occurred within that, right? I graduated from university. I'm gonna do a happy dance. I just had to do a happy dance because I kind of pinch myself from time to time to what does it feel like just being like a young black educated woman. Oh my god, that feels good saying that. It feels good being that. Like, I did that. I graduated from the #1 highest ranking university in Africa. I did that. And that's what's up, you know. So I'm really proud of myself. So every time I kind of think about it or I say it, and I kind of do like a nice happy dance for it, and then I kind of recoup again. And I experienced that moment in solitude, right? And I experienced that moment obviously off social media and off everything, so I wasn't able to share that moment with you guys. So me doing this happy dance is part of that. But yeah, I graduated from university and I knew what that signified. That signifies a new era of life for me, a new era of life, a new era of responsibilities, a new era of decision making, stepping into adulthood like fully, you know what I mean? And stepping into adulthood in the normative sense. And even though I felt like I've had the oldest soul for the longest time, but now it's like in a normative point of view, you're an adult, right? And that scared me to some degree. So I needed to be away and kind of soak that in and take what that means and what that looks like in. So I was away for that. So I experienced my graduation. I didn't post a single post. I experienced my graduation. My family and I did a post-graduation ceremony, and you know, that was exciting and beautiful to experience. And yeah, so but within all of that, like the excitement of that period, I was confronted with the future in a way that I had not thought about before, and I just couldn't handle like having to just like go through that and have to be accountable for, like, you know, for external voices. And it kind of like I've been going through the most, but I've been going through the most intentionally, if that makes sense. Like, I've, you know, intentionally going through the most, or allowing myself to go through the most because of the time and what the experience represented. And allowing myself to take and soak that moment in, fully cognizant of whatever decision and whatever happens from here was a resemblance of that moment. So yeah, after graduating, came to New York City, and I've been living here now for a bit, and I'm a New York City girl. I'm a New York City girl. Like, New York has my heart. Like, New York is my city. Like, New York is my city. You know what I mean? So even the move was challenged in every possible way that you can think of. Like, and I say move not necessarily in the traditional sense, but just like me living here in this time meant was faced with a lot of like challenges that shook my mental health. My mental health in the past couple of months has been shaken in ways that I've never anticipated. Like, I've always been the strong person. Like, I was just tired of being strong. You know what I mean? Like, yes, I've graduated. I've, you know, now living in this new city. But while all of that was happening, like, my mental health was in the worst state that it's ever been in. So I wanted to focus on my mental health. I wanted to focus on like certain experiences that could lead to my healing and to my maximum amount and capacity of healing. And I'd experienced something last year that triggered me at the end of last year. So when I had just gotten back home, I had experienced a number of different triggers that like required me to tap into a space of healing. And I also felt like for me to be able to heal in a in a capacity that will enable me to just be to flow within the next period of my life and to within the next season and the next stage of my life. I wanted to be healed and I wanted to be okay, and I felt like I wasn't okay for a long time, but I was moving through with the knowledge of being strong and being courageous, which is strong and courageous is in the Bible. So it's a characteristic that I had embodied because I had known of it in that particular context as well, right? And I just felt tired of that. I just felt like I was so tired. I was like, I'm tired of being strong and knowing all the answers and being smart and being ambitious and being all of these things that I've been before. But I felt like I had gotten into this black hole of just like problems and troubles and just like things going wrong and everything just not being okay, despite having graduated and having kind of come to New York. But in that time, right, there was just like so many things that were like making me question, oh my God, I haven't been okay for a while, but I didn't know that, or I didn't want to think about that. So I continued, but I was like, I don't want to continue anymore until I'm okay, until I've come to terms with certain things. And I hadn't been coming to terms with certain things. So I wanted to ensure to be comfortable and to be okay. And that required another level of just like break. So that's also another reason why I took the break. And obviously it's kind of just been like the mental health element of it, and just taking note of checking in to my mental health, because I felt like because of the strength that I had, and a friend of mine once said, yo, I have Vuyo imbokoto, which means like imbokoto is just like this unshaken thing, like you can't shake me. Like, what? You can't shake me, like that can't shake me. And I was like that for the longest time, until I got to a point where last year, like there was a particular incident that occurred that I felt like this shook me, like this just shook me, you know what I mean? And I was like, I want to allow myself to be shaken. I want to allow myself to feel sad in this moment, to feel depressed in this moment, to feel anxiety in this moment, because it's not supposed to make me feel okay. And the idea of like the strength and just being like, everything makes you stronger, but I now understand that everything makes you stronger after you've dealt with this, with the weakness of it, right? And just like allowing God to be your strength. And I always wanted to be my own strength, right? And I felt like now I was like, God, I'm tired of being strong. I want to be weak, and I want to be weak in a sense where I'm allowing you to be strong for me in this moment, right? And my strength and my faith rather got really strengthened within this time. Like I really got to connect with God in a way that I hadn't before, and I really kind of understood my faith and my grounding within my faith, and God being able to walk with me within that very dark and depressing and anxiety filled space and time. And and with even the high moments, like when I was graduating, I was ecstatic, but I also knew like I'm not fully okay. I'm proud of myself. I'm excited for myself, and I know that but me not being okay was also stemming from the anxiety that I had anticipated to come with the next frontier, the next move, the next step of my life. And that was very scary. That was so scary. So I've now kind of come to terms. I'm now in a better space mindset wise. I know certain truths about myself, about what I want to do, what I want to be, who I want to be, who I am. And if you read my book 21, which is a capsule of my understanding of purpose discovery and purpose maximization and manifestation, I was so encouraged to have discovered that within that time frame. But I felt like this period of my life was, you have discovered purpose, you know what you're meant to do, you know what positioning, what role you're meant to play, but do you know who you are within that? Are you comfortable with who you are within that? And I was for the longest time uncomfortable with myself and uncomfortable with the truths that I was not wanting to be aware of. Like, I didn't want to know certain truths about myself, and I was kind of just like, my purpose presented so many, and this was post, now just kind of looking back, like my purpose uncovered so many things that made me hide away from myself and hide from myself. But this moment required me to come into full facial moment with myself, and I wanted to experience that, like, Vuyo, who is Vuyo, and who do you want Vuyo to be, and what do you want Vuyo to feel, right? And allowing Vuyo to be sad, and allowing Vuyo to be happy, and allowing Vuyo to feel, to be sad, and to be uncomfortable, and to just be human, and kind of attaching my sense of divinity and my sense of kind of purpose for living and connection with self to being like separated, and understanding that there's a difference between that, to not allowing yourself to fully be present and to deal and to experience. So I also wanted to be present for that transitionary time, and for those stresses and that anxiety and that depression. And I wanted to feel that, not because I'm encouraging one to feel stress and anger and anxiety and and heartache and all these emotions that I felt like I was dealing with when I was away, but I needed to deal with them in order to be past them, because I was suppressing a lot of those emotions, right? And every time I would go through something, and I would not deal with it and not feel it and not experience it, and then you're gonna hear a lot of that here in New York. But anyway, I just wanted to really experience and just like know that within that difference, like the divinity also existing within the same form and within the same body and shape and being, with the person who has some anxiety and experiences times and pains of life, and just I wanted to become comfortable with like the sense of non-invincibility, if that makes sense. Like I've never been comfortable with being invincible, but it kind of felt like the lack of acknowledgement of emotions and feelings and kind of like experiences was gearing me towards walking like I'm invincible, where no, you're not invincible, you know what I mean? So now coming to terms with that, there's no invincibility. I don't want to be invincible. I want to make mistakes, and I've been making so many mistakes, and always fixing the mistakes, which is a big part of who I am. Like, I'm a solutionist by nature. I'm a trouble solver. I'm a problem solver. That's my nature. But like, also kind of just being like okay with making mistakes, right? And knowing that I'm gonna make mistakes. And I never wanted to make mistakes, because I was like, I don't want these mistakes to affect other people, but I'm okay with mistake making, right? But I don't want these mistakes to affect other people. So I'd become super harsh on myself and super hard on myself, and I had to deal with what that looked like. What does forgiving yourself and forgiving yourself for the mistakes that you make look like? Because I would be so hard on myself, and that's where all the anxiety would come in, and all the stress and all the pressure. So yeah, it's just been a lot going on, but I'm healing. I'm in the process and in the stage and in the phase and in a state of healing. And I feel like I can breathe again. I feel like I can move forward again unapologetically. I feel like now I'm in a better space, right? For relationships, I'm in a better space for my career. I'm in a better space for my life, So much has happened in the past couple of months, in the past couple of years, right? There's been so much pain that I've been experiencing, and when people kind of always say to me like, oh my God, Vuyo, like all these amazing things are happening in your life, and you know, it's all great, and I kind of, I've always been the type of person who I don't allow myself to feel the pain, because I want to move forward to be able to experience what not having the pain looks like. So there's been so much that I hadn't dealt with, and that required me to take a pause from life. I needed to take a pause from life and from just living, and experience what not living is, in order to be able to like deal with the pain that I had bottled up. I had bottled up so much pain and so many experiences, and that's why when I think about like, do the people that think that everything has been going well for me and I've been achieving all these incredible things that I am honored to have experienced and to have accomplished, but like the pains that come with that, the pains that come with that, and I've been managing some really tough things, right? And being strong was my superpower, right? Like you could do anything to me. Like you could hurt me in every possible way, and I could experience the worst trauma and experiences, but I never found myself in a space of just being like, you know what, Vuyo, you're not okay. Like, girl, you're not okay. Like, like feel it, you know, feel what not being okay is, and like cry as much as you need to, and you know, there's nothing wrong with not being okay. It's okay not to be okay, and I didn't know what that looked like. Like, I didn't know what not being okay looked like, because I never allowed myself to not be okay, because I was like, it's cool, you know, we're gonna just keep going forward and looking at the next gig and working towards a particular goal. But I was like, I'm tired. I don't wanna do that. I don't wanna, just now, like in this moment, I just don't wanna do anything. I don't wanna have a, you know, do another career milestone and achieve something else, and because even that in itself, like the achieving in itself, it isolates you from so many people and just like so many experiences. So that already had its own challenges, like, and people don't even know like that all the things that I get to do and I've done, which now I look back at, now I'm like, okay, cool, like at some stage and at some part of my life, like I did that. I wrote the book, I did the TED Talk, I started the business, I ran the business, and traveled, and all these things that so many people would look at and think like, oh my God, that's so cool, like, and you know, I'm just like, do you guys know what I had to go through to be able to experience those things, and also what I had to go through because no one else was doing those things around me, and that isolated me so much from other people, and I had to like, I'm trying not to cry, but now I feel like now I am I'm getting better, and I am becoming comfortable with my struggles, and my mental health has been affected so strongly, and I also just felt like, I don't know if anyone would be able to understand, like, you know, like a culmination of career pains and life pains, and just like, just feeling like a sense of not belonging anywhere. And I just felt like I needed to deal with what I'm dealing with in a way that will allow me to not be afraid of myself and afraid of like what being healed could look like. Because at some point I kind of was very comfortable with pain, right? Like I was comfortable with it. Became uncomfortable not to experience some form of pain, and I now got to a point where I was like, I don't want to have to feel this way anymore. I want to feel happy, and happy in its truest form. Like I want to and I got to experience all of this in the past couple of months. Like I cried every single night. I cried every night for the past 5-6 months. I cried every single night because I felt like I just needed to cry. I hadn't been crying for a long time. I hadn't been experiencing pain or allowing myself to experience pain for the longest time. And now, now I feel like I've been able to cry and to breathe, to allow myself permission to not be okay, and hold on to that and walk with that. And so yeah, I hope you're gonna go on this journey with me and feel and experience this new transition and trajectory alongside with me. So yeah, this is Vuyo Jabota Takes New York, and I hope that you're going to enjoy the time with me somewhere in New York. And yeah, we're going to continue experiencing healing. We're going to continue healing. We're going to continue, taking it easy. And yeah, I'm okay, and we're going to be okay. We're going to be all right. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you all on the other side. Mwah. Cheers, darlings.